What's up, guys? Not much. Changing some brakes on the RSX. I was gonna take a video of this, but then I figured if you don't know how to change brakes on a car, you probably shouldn't be working on your car. So we're not gonna do a video on brakes. We're gonna do a video on actually working on the EP, choosing an intercooler. I told you guys I was gonna kind of walk you through the steps of what kind of went through my head. What am I doing? You know, how when you boost your car, what are you thinking about? You know, and that's what a lot of people don't really know. A lot of people just buy something and throw it together. And you can do that. You can just buy a whole bunch of turbo parts, put them on your car, and it will work. But is that the best setup for you? Is that optimal? What are you doing? Okay, cool. All right, so me. Let's say we're boosting the EP, which we are, but all right, so what goes through my head? First things first. I guess, what type of intercooler am I going to run? Am I going to run a air-to-air intercooler? Am I going to run an air-to-water intercooler? A lot of guys automatically just assume, 99% of people run an air-to-air intercooler. They got this big front mount on their car, looks good, you know, cool, turbo, works. But a lot of guys don't even put in the option, what about air-to-water? I'm not too, I'm a fan of air-to-water, it works. It's a lot less space, a lot less piping. So like, for example, I did an air-to-water setup on an RSX. So let's say you have your turbo in the back, you have your engine right here, and then your intake manifold. So your turbo piping literally just comes out, goes through the air-to-water box, and then goes right back into the intake manifold. That all fits under the hood. You don't have to worry about running the piping all the way out through the bottom, through the front bumper, through this big front mount, coming back out, all the way back up to the throttle body. That's a lot of spool time wasted. You know, you can, with the short piping, you can get quick spool. Two, another good thing about air to water is you can drop your air intake's temperatures down a lot lower than an air to air, because you can like actually, I don't know if you've probably seen people, you know, like dumping ice in this tank in the back of the car to cool, you know, that's an air to water setup. So you can actually drop your air temperatures a lot lower. So say, you know, you got a daily driver track car, you daily drive it, you know, daily driver turbo track car. You daily drive it, you're not boosting it crazy. You get to the track, you might want to cut the boost up some. Well, hey, maybe let's drop our intake temperatures down. Maybe let's drop some ice in our bucket, you know, run that water through the intercooler to drop the air intake temperatures down lower. We've got a quick spool time, everything's working good. Might cost a little bit more, but, you know, that's something to look at. You know, personally, would I do an air-to-water setup? Yes, but since this is kind of just a budget build, I'm just probably going to stick with an air-to-air, but just shooting it out there, something for you guys to look into. It is a good setup. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people just automatically buy an intercooler for turbo in their car. But what goes through my head? That's what you guys want to know. Secondly, so I guess let's just say I'm going to just stick with an air-to-air because it's just easier, it's budget-friendly, it's simple. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have my air-to-air intercooler. Next question I'm going to ask myself is, where am I going to run the piping? Am I going to have inlets and outlets on both sides? Am I going to have the inlets on the same side? Am I going to do a backdoor setup? What am I going to do? Me personally, on the EP, or either an RSX or any car, if I do a backdoor setup, I'm probably going to have to delete my AC, and I'm probably going to have to get a smaller radiator to fit, because the intercooler piping needs to come out the back and go to like a bottom fed manifold. So am I running a bottom fed manifold on the EP? Nah, I'll probably just run the stock one. So now we kind of eliminated that one. Two, some guys run the opposite side intercoolers. You can do that too. Sometimes on like swap cars, you can fit the piping up through the other side and come back up through it. Most K-series guys, though, we're going to stick with the same side intercooler. You're going to have an inlet and an outlet on the same side, so you can run your intercooler piping back up into the engine bay. So I guess we've eliminated two things. I'm not doing air-to-water. I'm going to do an air-to-air. Probably going to do a same side intercooler just because it's easier. I can keep my AC. I don't have to buy another radiator. Two, I guess another thing I would say is pipe size. A lot of guys just buy, you know, are like 2.5, 3 inch, 3.5 inch piping. Those are all options. My question would be, am I really about to make 1,000 horsepower? Whoop. All right, and we're back. Quick phone call. All right, so I guess next question I'm kind of looking at is pipe size. Am I really about to make 1,000 horsepower? No. Two, how much space do I really have for piping? Like I might, hey, take your front bumper off. Look at how much space you have to work with. Do like let's say we have, I'll make up a random number, 5 3/4 inches between our frame and our subframe. So, do we have enough room really to stick 2 3-inch pipes to go through there? Unless we cut the frame out, yeah, we could do it then. But maybe you don't want to cut your frame out. Take your bumper off. Look at that. Hey, so now I got my piping running through here. I'm probably not going to be able to run 2 3-inch pipes through here. Well, I could unless I have to cut some stuff. But say you don't want to cut the stuff. Maybe you could go with a 2.5-inch piping, then slide those pipes through there, and then you got better fitment. Two, that's another kind of bigger advantage of the air to water setup is you don't have to worry about running the intercooler pipes out through the wheel well, and then through the front bumper to the intercooler. All you have to run is just 2 little lines to maybe a second radiator up front. Some guys might not want to worry about, steering wheel. Say they're running wide tires, and you don't want the intercooler piping to get in the way of the tires, because you want maybe a big tire on the car. So some guys have fitment issues. They might not be able to turn a full 90-degree turn without the intercooler piping rubbing because it comes through there and then it's in the wheel well. You might say, hey, I don't want to do that. I want run wide tires and I don't want to deal with the rubbing issues that some people might have with intercooler piping. I guess lastly I would say is cost wise. Are you really trying to spend $1,000 on an intercooler? I'm personally not. So I guess how much am I trying to spend? Am I trying to go really budget? Am I trying to buy like a cheapo intercooler? The cheapo intercoolers work. Sadly, they do. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. The cheap intercoolers, if you're not looking to make 1,200 horsepower, the cheapo intercoolers work. So kind of figure out, to your size, which kind of room you're working with. Take your front bumper off. Get an idea of, what might fit. Because some things might not fit, some things might fit depending on how your car is set up. So two, do you have anybody to fabricate you an intercooler? Me, you're right, I might could get one welded up. So I might say, hey, you know what, I don't want to buy a budget intercooler, I'm going to make my own. So then I kind of can say I can buy a core and then weld on my intakes and, do it exactly how I want it. It's also an option. Well, if you don't know anybody that can weld, that might be more expensive than just going to buy an expensive intercooler. Or if you're just baller, just go buy an expensive intercooler. You can do that too. So that's kind of what goes through my head when I'm kind of like sitting here choosing. Well, all right, so I'm about to boost my car. How I'm about to boost it. Let's start with the intercooler. That's kind of what goes through my head when I kind of boost the car. So now, I guess you guys kind of know what I'm about to do, so I guess I'm either going to probably look for a more budget-friendly intercooler, or I'm going to make my own. Got to price that out to figure out, is it really worth making my own, spending all that extra money, or can I just buy a budget one and we'll just make it work. So, alright guys, I'm not going to keep this too long, because I know it's probably just talk, a lot of information for you to think about, figure out what you're going to do, but alright, so that's kind of what I went through on how to choose an intercooler. Next, we're going to install an intercooler. I'll probably pick up something, either make something or build one. And then we'll go ahead and drop that on the car. So intercooler install coming up next. Alright guys, later.